Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the World Cup Review Show with me, Stephan from Will FC. I hope you're doing alright. Now, we've not been on since Scotland played on Friday night. We came on Saturday. That was our last broadcast to you guys. So we're back today with a bumper edition. We've got 11 games to cover. And to top it off, England play tonight and Scotland play tomorrow. So we'll be looking ahead to those fixtures and we'll be covering all the games from Saturday and Sunday and Monday as well. We've had it all over the weekend. We've had shocks, drama, and even a weather delay last night. In Philadelphia for the France and Iraq game. So folks, without further ado, we're going to get into today's edition of the World Cup show. Now the first game we have to cover comes from the early hours of Saturday morning. It was a 1:30 kickoff in Group C. Now I wonder what game that could be. It was, of course, Brazil versus Haiti, and it was 3-0 at half-time, and consequently it remained 3-0 until full-time, with goals from Mateus Cunha. He got 2 goals in the 23rd and 36th minute, and Vinicius Jr. popped up again, bang on half-time, to make it 3-0. Now, I will hold my hands up, guys. I did only manage to see roughly the first half an hour of the game, because then I fell asleep because it was 1:30 in the morning. But the half hour I did see, Brazil were just on top. Now, you would expect that because Brazil is Brazil and Haiti is Haiti. But as we all know, it is a World Cup, so shocks can happen. But in this case, it was a very straightforward performance for Brazil with some very nice play in all areas of the park. And the goals were very nice too. If you've not seen the goals yet, you can catch up on the BBC iPlayer app and the ITV or ITVX app or the STV Player app if you're in Scotland. So check them out. They were brilliant goals and a thoroughly deserved victory for the Brazilians, who looked far superior compared to what we did in their first game against Morocco when it was a 1-1 draw. Now, but like I say, you would expect Brazil to come out on top against little Haiti, and they did. So, all credit to Brazil, and it sets up a really exciting final game for Brazil tomorrow against us canny Scots. Now, with a bit of luck, guys, we will come out on top, on the very least. Apparently, I heard from one of my friends, if we lose only by a goal to 0, we can still qualify as one of the 8 third place best teams in your group. So we can still qualify. There is still permutations there to be looked at and looked for tomorrow. So it's going to be a really interesting final round of fixtures in Group C tomorrow. We've got Morocco versus. In fact, we've got Brazil, Scotland, and Morocco versus Haiti. I had to think that. And I think Morocco will beat Haiti, but stranger things have happened. And I think we will either win or draw against Brazil because, as I said the other day, Brazil's not the Brazil of 20 years ago, guys. It's a new, younger Brazil. Scotland will be ready. We'll be doing our last bit of training today, and we'll be ready for 11 p.m. tomorrow. So we shall conquer the Brazilians hopefully and qualify for the knockout stages for the first time in our history. So all I can say is tomorrow is going to be very exciting, and we'll be back on Thursday to cover tomorrow's games. Now in Group D overnight on Saturday as well at 4 a.m. in the morning UK time, Turkey took on Paraguay. Now I have to admit, guys, I was asleep at 4 a.m. in the morning, but it was 1-0 to Paraguay, and uh, Gawaraza scored after 2 minutes, but Miguel Almiron, formerly of Newcastle United, got sent off right at the end of the first half. Now it did stay 1-0 to Paraguay, so that's given them a loss in their first game and a win in their second game. So it all boils down to their final fixture to see whether they can get through to the knockouts or not. So well done to them. Now I should also say at this point, guys, at the end of the roundup of the games, we will look at the groups and the permutations for the final round of fixtures for some of the groups tomorrow, but the final round will be for some of the groups also next week. So we will look at the groups and the permutations and everything going ahead into the final round. I've already explained the permutations for Scotland. Obviously, if England win tonight, it'll be a lot more straightforward for them because they'll be on 6 points. But we'll have a look at that in a short while. And I should also say at this point, guys, if you are watching on one of the various platforms that we multi-stream live to, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to the various platforms. It doesn't matter what one you're watching on, please follow it or like it, and yeah, we'll get it all. I'll get it all through in the analytics, and that would be absolutely fantastic. And if we could go for 50 likes on this video today, that would also be fantastic as well. And our social media handles are just down the bottom of the main graphic on the screen, so they're all there for you guys. So no excuse to go on to one and drop a follow or leave a like or subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing, guys. And with that being said, let's continue our journey on. We now move into Group E, where at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Saturday evening, Germany took on the Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire in their second game. Now, this game was a very exciting game because both sides were given as good as they got. Germany were attacking when Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast were attacking, and it was just intense stuff the whole game, and it was just a really good game to watch. Now, it was 1-0 Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire at half time through Kessie. Kessie scored inside half an hour, folks. And let me tell you what a finish it was. It was a brilliant finish from Kessie, and they very well deserved because they were on top at that point. But as Germany do in the second half, with the words of manager head coach Julian Nagelsmann ringing in their ears, they came out, and Undaf scored 2 goals two very, very good goals, I used to add, in the 68th minute and the 94th minute. But even when it was a draw, the Ivory Coast didn't let up. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it was just pure luck of the draw that Germany scored in the last minute of the game to give them their second win of the group stage. Now, Germany have scored 9 goals already and conceded only 2, so they'll be top of their group in goal difference, and if they win their final fixture, they'll definitely be assured of a place in the knockouts, even if they aren't already. So that was Group E, ladies and gentlemen. On to Group F now. We have On to Group F now. We have the Netherlands and Sweden. Now, this game was a complete surprise because, if you may remember, folks, the Swedish side won their opening game 4-1. Now, wait for it. They lost this game in the end 5-1. But it was only 2-0 at half time. And Brian and Bobby scored 2 goals of Sunderland, of course, scored 2 goals in the 5th minute and the 17th minute, and Cody Gakpo of Liverpool scored 2 goals in the 47th and 54th minute. And Somerville of West Ham scored 1 goal in the 89th minute. Now, from what I saw of this game, and so most of it, it looked a fairly entertaining game. But the Swedes definitely have to learn from this game, because even though Anthony Elanga scored and made it 2-1 in 59 minutes, the Swedes were just completely overrun by the Dutch. For the Dutch, this game was actually virtually like a training exercise, which was kind of weird because we thought Netherlands, Sweden, it'll be a bit closer, but if I'm being totally honest with you, in my opinion, and it is only my opinion, Graham Potter, the Swedish head coach / manager, got his tactics all wrong for that game. As he said, we've got to move on, they've got to learn from it, and they've got to be ready for their final fixture. So that was all the games on Saturday, the 20th of June. Let's move on to Sunday, the 21st. Now, overnight in Group E, we had Ecuador and Curacao. What can I say about this game? Not a lot, really. It finished 0-0. So both teams get a point in the group, and well done to Curacao for getting their first ever World Cup point. So well done to them. But Ecuador would have been expected to win this game, but it was 0-0. So well done to Curacao. Both sides have a point, and it finished 0-0. That's all I can say on that one from Group E. From Group F, we've got Tunisia versus Japan. Now, this game kicked off at 5 a.m. in the morning at UK time. I did try and watch it, but I did fall asleep. But I seen about 20 minutes of this game, so I didn't see any of the goals. But I've seen a wee bit of the highlights, folks. I'm not gonna lie, but I've not seen too many. But from what I did see, was Japan pretty much ran roughshod over Tunisia. It was 2-0 at half time with goals from Kamada and Udea. Udea actually scored 2 goals in the 31st and 83rd minute, and Ito scored in the 69th and Kamada scored in the 4th, and it ended up being 4-0 to Japan. So they've redeemed themselves after a loss to the Netherlands in the opening game. Of course, it was a 2-1 loss. So they've redeemed themselves, and their goal difference is now plus one, because it was a 2-1 loss. So well done to Japan for winning 4-0, one of the highest results of the weekend in the World Cup, apart from, obviously, the Netherlands and Sweden. Then we had Belgium versus Iran. What can I say about this? It was 0-0. Both teams gave as good as they got. Iran actually did score, but it was offside. And then with 26 minutes to go, Ngoy got sent off for Belgium for denying a goal scoring opportunity for Iran. So yeah, 0-0 finished, but Iran should have won that game. They did score, but it was offside. But hey, that's World Cup football. And a steady point for Iran, but Belgium are in a bit of soapy water because that's 2 draws from their opening 2 games. So they need to win their third game to have a hope of qualifying for the knockouts. In Group H, Spain took on Saudi Arabia over the weekend, and Spain won this one 4-0. Now, Saudi Arabia in this game offered nothing. They offered absolutely nothing, which to me is a complete surprise because you think of all the money that's been ploughed into the Saudi Pro League and buying all these players and getting all their teams up, but hey, Saudi Arabia as a national team have been really quite poor in this World Cup. And it was a bit of a canter for Spain when Yamal scored in 10 minutes. Yamal scored in the 21st and 24th. And they got an goal from Hassan El Tambakti in the 49th minute. Incidentally, it finished 4-0. A great result for Spain after the opening draw with Cape Verde. So Spain redeemed themselves and they're now favourites to win the group. Also in Group H, you had Uruguay versus Cape Verde. This one finished 2-2. And what a game this was. I've seen this game. Cape Verde actually went 1-0 up from Kevin Pina with a hard low free kick hit from just outside the box and deceived everyone and including the keeper. So Kevin Pina will go down in history for Cape Verde. He has been the very first player to score at a World Cup, so well done Kevin Pina. Then Aurelio equalised for Uruguay in the 44th minute, and Canobio I'm probably butchering that, but that'll do. Scored just a minute later with a header. He couldn't miss. It was about 2 yards out because the ball came in. It was flicked on. It went onto the post. The Cape Verde keeper tried to get it, but he just couldn't keep it out. And as a result of the ball bouncing back off the post, it fell ever so kindly for Gunmel and he popped it in. But Cape Verde went finished because in the 61st minute, Helio Varela scored the equaliser for Cape Verde. So 2 of Cape Verde's players will go down in history. And for Batistuta, the Cape Verde manager, he's got 2 World Cup goals under his belt and 2 draws. So well done to him. And there's still a chance that Cape Verde could qualify. Imagine if they beat Saudi Arabia to qualify for the knockouts with 2 draws, so that's 2 points they've got. And if you get a win against Saudi Arabia, that's 5 points. That should be enough to see them through. Now, Uruguay's got much to ponder. I mean, much to ponder. They're in a bit of hot soapy water because if you remember, they drew to Saudi Arabia in their first game and they've also drawn against Cape Verde. So if they don't beat Spain in the next round of that group, we're going to be out of the World Cup. And for Marcelo Bielsa, that's going to be a bit of a egg on the face moment, I would say, because quite a lot of people might have had Uruguay as their dark horses in sweepstake or something like that at work or with the club we go to or whatever. So at the moment, it's not looking good for Uruguay. They need to come good against Spain, which will be a tall task in itself to have any chance of progressing through the group stages. But if I was a betting man, I would say Cape Verde's got more of a chance than Uruguay of getting through. We've got more of a chance of beating Saudi Arabia. That is an easier fixture on paper, definitely. And we move swiftly on, folks, to yesterday, where we actually had our first weather delay in the World Cup. I'll come on to that shortly. But I'm just going to get a wee drink, guys, and wet the whistle. That's better. There we are. Oh, it's a hot day, guys. It's meant to be about 26 degrees today, it's highest. So if you are going out and about, plenty of sunscreen, plenty of fluids, and wear very, very loose clothing like this. Because if not, you are just going to cook. So look after yourselves. Right, so we move on to yesterday, Monday the 22nd, the 22nd of June. Then overnight we had New Zealand and Egypt from Group G. New Zealand were actually 1-0 up in that game through sermon after 15 minutes. But Egypt showed their qualities and came back with 3 goals in the second half from Mustafa Zico, Mo Salah, and Trezeguet. Now, I know what you're thinking, Trezeguet was a French player, yes he was, but that was in the 98 World Cup, so what, 28 years ago? So different guy. But this game, I was watching the France-Iraq game, so I didn't see this one because of a weather delay, but well done to Egypt for coming back in that one. And it was closer than I thought, because when I seen this one on paper, even though New Zealand got drawn their first game, I thought Egypt would have steamrolled them, and it was only 3-1, so well done to New Zealand for keeping it respectable. But another great result for Egypt, so they'll be all but qualifying for the knockouts if they can win their final game in Group G in a few days' time. So well done to Egypt on that one. Now, this is the one in Group I where we had a very lengthy delay overnight. France, Iraq kicked off at 10 o'clock UK time in the evening. And we had a severe weather delay at half time. We had lightning strikes in the Philadelphia area, which meant that the second half was delayed for well over an hour. I think it was like an hour and a half or something like that. And when the game eventually did finish, it was 3-0 to France. Of course, on paper, you'd think France would beat Iraq quite comfortably, which is what exactly happened. But at half time, it was only 1-0, and of course, 2 goals from, yep, you've guessed it, Kylian Mbappe, and 1 goal from Ousmane Dembele sealed the points for France. They've now got 2 victories out of 2, so if they can win their final group game, they'll win the group and progress to the knockouts at a bit of a canter. Now, the final game we've got to look at today is from Group J, Argentina versus Austria. Albeit Argentina's most difficult fixture in the group on paper, however, it didn't turn out like that. Now, excuse me, I was at my work last night when this game was on, so I only caught little bits here and there. But Lionel Messi has now broken the all-time goal-scoring record for a player in World Cup. Lionel Messi is the top goal scorer at the moment, but Kylian Mbappe is only 2 goals behind him, so this record could switch back and forth quite regularly over the next 5 weeks or so. Lionel Messi got 2 goals in this game, the 38th minute and the 95th minute, and sealed the win for Argentina. So that is 2 victories out of 2 for Argentina. So we are top of our group, and if they win their third and final fixture in the group, they'll qualify for the knockout stages, also at a bit of a canter. So well done to them for that. Let's just see if we've got any comments in the chat. Welcome in, Laurie. Welcome in. Sounding good. So that's great news, Laurie. So thank you for saying that. How we doing, guys? How we all doing? Now, Laurie, you're in Miami. You stay in Miami, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because Scotland, as you know, because when we've had a chat off stream, Scotland are playing in Miami tomorrow. So if you're out and about tomorrow, you might see some of the Tamer Santa, you Jimmy hats. You might see that. So hopefully you can do it, and hopefully you might get a picture with some members of the Tartan Army, being a honorary Scot, because you've been my mod for what, nearly 5-6 years now. So yeah, you might see some Tamer Santas floating about Miami tomorrow if you're going out and about. And I'm glad the sound's good. That is a great comfort and way off my mind as well that the sound is good. Now, we'll look ahead to tonight's fixture between, well, we'll look ahead to all the fixtures. I was going to say between England and Ghana, but we'll look ahead to them all. Why not? So today, there is actually one more game we have to talk about before that. I forgot about this one. In fact, there's 2 more games. Also from Group I, overnight, Norway took on Senegal. Now, I couldn't watch this game, obviously, because of the weather delay to the France-Iraq game. I was still watching that when this one kicked off. Now, Norway were 1-0 up at half time through Pedersen, and then, of course, in the second half, who else but Erling Haaland scored in the 48th minute, and the 58th minutes there was 10 minutes between his goals, and Ismail Sarr scored in the 53rd and 93rd minute for Senegal. So that match was a lot closer than anyone else predicted. I would have probably said, looking at that on paper, it probably would have been about 3-0 to Norway, but well done to Senegal for coming back and only losing by 1 goal. Well, only losing one goal difference terms as well. So, but that does mean with two losses in the group stage that Senegal are going to have to beat Iraq to have a shout of being one of the third best placed teams from 9 spots available to qualify for the knockouts. And they're going to have to beat Iraq quite handsomely because they lost 3-1 to France and 3-2 to Norway. So they're going to have to beat Iraq quite handsomely to have a chance of qualifying. And this is nothing against Iraq, but I think they can do it. I think Iraq's all but home now. They're all but out of the World Cup. We've got one more fixture to go against Senegal, but Iraq's really just playing for pride, is where Senegal could still squeak through. Even though they've had 2 losses, they could still squeak through if they beat Iraq handsomely because it'll come down to goals between those two. Now, in Group J at 5 a.m. this morning, or 4 a.m. UK time, sorry, we had Jordan versus Algeria. That's a little derby there for those of you who don't know. Now, at half time, it was 1-0 to Jordan. Nasser Al Rashdan scored in the 36th minute of the game, but Algeria came back in the second half with Benaboli scoring in the 69th minute and Kukurai scoring in the 82nd minute to give Algeria a 2-0 win. A 2-1 win over Jordan. So well done to Algeria. They've kind of redeemed themselves as well after last week's opening result. They've redeemed themselves. Jordan, however, I think could still qualify if they win their final game and win it by a certain number of goals. They could be in also for a third place spot, but we'll check the groups in a wee minute and we'll go through all the permutations. But overnight, Norway beat Senegal and Algeria beat Jordan. Now, tonight's games. There's only two respectable times tonight from Group K at 6 p.m. UK time. We've got Portugal versus Uzbekistan. Now, the unthinkable could happen here. If Portugal somehow draw with Uzbekistan, they'll be going into their final fixture in the group, needing a win to assure qualification with just 5 points. However, if they win, they'll move on to 4 points because in their opening fixture in Group K, they only drew with the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, if Uzbekistan do the unthinkable and actually win, that'll give them a foothold in the group. That'll put them on to 3 points. And it'll leave Portugal facing squeaky bum time going into their final fixture. And from Group L at 9 p.m. tonight UK time, it is a big one. It is England, I know, but I have to remain impartial, versus Ghana from Group L. Now, if England win, because they already beat Croatia by 4-2 in their first fixture, if England win, they're all but assured qualification to the knockout stage. But if Ghana win, that would really put the cat amongst the proverbial pigeon, let's just say. But I think in all areas of pitch, even though Senegal beat England in a warm-up game for the World Cup, I think England under Thomas Tuchel will just be far too strong for Ghana. We'll move on to 6 points. We won't hear enough about it for the next week or so in the news. We'll hear it all. England's qualified because if they do win tonight, they qualify. It's as simple as that. And like I say, if they do win tonight, the news channels won't shut up about it until the weekend, at least. And Thomas Tuchel will have a big smile on his face. Now, tomorrow night, overnight, we have Panama versus Croatia, and I think Panama is going to win this one. Who am I kidding? No, let's be honest. Croatia should beat Panama at an absolute canter. I think they'll be far too strong for Panama. But like I say, it's a World Cup, so shocks can happen. As we are in Group K, for example, Colombia, Democratic Republic of Congo. I think that one will be a draw at 3 a.m. UK time. Then from Group B, we have 2 games. Bosnia-Herzegovina versus Qatar at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I think Bosnia are going to win that in absolute canter. Qatar have already lost their opening 2 fixtures, so Qatar are basically playing for pride now. Switzerland versus Canada, I think is going to be a bit closer. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for the Canadians. And the only reason I'm saying that is because we have the closed nation, they'll have advantage from crowd, and they should just edge it with advantage. And both those games kick off at 8 o'clock. Now, in Group C, both the games kick off at 11 o'clock. We've got Morocco versus Haiti. Now, will Haiti do us a little favour and beat Morocco or draw with Morocco? Please, Haiti, please do that. If you do that, it would be absolutely amazing. Whilst at the same time, if, and it's a big if, because we all know what Scotland's like in big games, if Scotland draw or beat Brazil, draw against or beat Brazil tomorrow, I should say, we'll qualify for the knockout stages for the first time in our history. I wonder, folks, how are the boys feeling ahead of such a big night tomorrow? How are you feeling, the nation of Scotland and the UK? How are you feeling about the games tonight and tomorrow? Do let me know in the comments of this video, guys. Please do. That would be absolutely amazing if you could let me know in the comments how you're feeling ahead of your team's fixture in this round of group fixtures in the World Cup. It doesn't get any bigger for the Scots than tomorrow. I have it on good authority that the Scots have already taken over Miami. The game is going to be played at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So come on, Scotland, and good luck to your World Cup team over the next day or so. Wherever you're watching from in the world, do let me know in the comments of the video, and I'll give you guys a wee mention at the start of the next video. Now, we did say we are going to take a look at the groups, so we're going to do that right now. I should really have a jingle for this bit, but it would need to be copyright. I can't really do jingles. So in Group A, Mexico are all but assured a place and we knockouts because they have a positive goal difference of 3 and they have 6 points. South Korea currently occupy second place with 3 points and a goal difference of 0. So it looks like South Korea and Mexico are going to go through from Group A, barring any changes in the group. But of course, Czechia are still to play. So Mexico and South Korea are still to play South Africa, I think. In Group B, this is where it gets tricky. Well, interesting rather, because Canada are currently top with a goal difference, a positive goal difference of +6 and 4 points. But just behind them are the Swedes with a goal difference of 3 and 4 points. So there's 3 goals in that. So that could all come down to goal difference. In terms of Qatar and Bosnia and Herzegovina getting the third place, I reckon that's just going to go to Bosnia on goal difference because Qatar have a goal difference of -6 and 1 point, and Bosnia have a goal difference of -3 and 1 point. In Group C, Brazil have redeemed themselves because if you remember a week ago, Brazil were in third spot, Scotland was top. Now, Brazil currently occupy spot number 1 in Group C with a positive goal difference of +3 and 4 points with a draw and a win. Morocco currently occupies second place with a positive goal difference of 1 and 4 points and a draw and a win. Scotland currently occupy third place with a goal difference of 0 and 3 points after a draw and a loss. And Haiti, well, poor old Haiti, currently occupy fourth place with a goal difference of -4, 2 losses and no points. Now, if it stays like that, it is very good for Scotland because 3 points could, and I stress could, get us through as one of the 8th or 9th third placed best teams in the competition. There's 8 or 9 spots for the third place best teams, and currently we're in spot number 4 in that little section. So, hey, all good news. In Group D, the US of A are on 6 points with a positive goal difference of +5 with 2 wins from opening 2 games. Australia are on 3 points with a goal difference of 0 with a draw and a loss from their first 2 games. Paraguay are on 3 points, but we have a negative goal difference of -2 with a draw and a win from their first 2 games. And Turkey, poor Turkey, are on 0 points with a goal difference negative of -3 and 2 losses after their first 2 games. In Group D, in Group E, Germany are top with a positive goal difference of +7 and 6 points after 2 wins from opening 2 games. The Ivory Coast are in second place, or Cote d'Ivoire are in second place with 3 points, a win and a loss from their first 2 games, and a goal difference of 0. Ecuador currently occupy third place in Group E with 1 point, a negative goal difference of -1 after a loss and a draw from their first 2 games. Curacao currently occupy fourth place in Group E with 1 point, a goal difference negative of -6 after a loss and a draw from their first 2 games in Group E. That's how Group E stands, folks, at the moment. Group F, The Netherlands have redeemed themselves. They're now on top with a draw and a win from their first two games, giving them 4 points, a goal difference, a positive one of +4. And wait for this. Japan occupy second place on 4 points with a goal difference of +4 and a draw and a win as well. But because of the fair play record, the Netherlands are top. Sweden occupy the third place in Group F with 3 points, with a goal difference of 0 and a win and a loss in their first two games. In poor Tunisia, they occupy fourth place with 0 points, 2 losses, and a goal difference negative of 8 goals in that group. So I think, for all intents and purposes, Tunisia are going home in that group. Now, in Group G, we all thought this was the group of death for New Zealand and Iran. However, listen to this. Egypt are top of the group with a draw and a win from their first two games, 4 points and a goal difference of +2. In second place, wait for this folks, is Iran with two draws, giving them a total of 2 points with a goal difference of 0. In third place is Belgium with a goal difference of 0, 2 points and 2 draws. But because of a fair play record and because Iran has not had any red cards, they occupy second spot in Group G. And poor old New Zealand are propping up that little table with a goal difference negative of 2, 1 point from their opening two games, giving them a draw and a loss from their opening two games. In Group H, we've got Spain top of the pile with a draw and a loss after their opening two games. They're on 4 points with a goal difference of a +4. Then come Uruguay on 2 points with 2 draws from their opening two games with a goal difference of 0. Cape Verde occupy the third place in that group with 2 points, 2 draws from their opening two games and a goal difference of 0. But because of a fair play record, Uruguay just sneak second place at the moment, but that could all change, and trust me on that one. And there is a scenario where Saudi Arabia could still actually qualify with 4 points. But, and this is where it gets tricky for them, we've had a draw and a loss in their opening two games. They've got 1 point, but we've got a negative goal difference, folks, of -4. Oh dear, a negative goal difference of -4 for Saudi Arabia. In Group I, well, it's fair to say Iraq look like the whipping boys in that group. France are top of the group, 2 wins from 2, giving them a total of 6 points and a positive goal difference of +5. Norway occupies second place. They also have 6 points, 2 wins from 2, with a goal difference of +4. Senegal currently occupy the third place spot, 2 losses from 2 goals, 0 points and a goal difference of -3, where Iraq occupy fourth place with 2 losses from 2, 0 points and a goal difference of -6. So for Iraq to take third place, they need to win their final game against Senegal by 4 goals to 0 to have a chance of becoming one of the third place and best teams. In Group J, Argentina are top of the pile, the defending world champions, of course, 2 wins from 2, giving them 6 points and a goal difference of +5. Austria occupies second place in that group with a win and a loss, giving them a total of 3 points and a goal difference of 0. Algeria currently occupy the third place with a loss and a win, leaving them also on 3 points with a goal difference of -2. And Jordan occupy 4th place in that group with 2 losses from 2, giving them 0 points and a goal difference of -3. Now we move into Group K, which sees, after just one round of games, because the second round kicks off tonight, Colombia are top with 3 points and a win from their first game and a goal difference of +2. Democratic Republic of Congo are in second place with a draw, 1 point, goal difference of 0. Portugal are in third place with a draw and 1 point, goal difference of 0, but because of the fair play record, Democratic Republic of Congo go above Portugal in that group for the time being. And Uzbekistan are bottom of the pile with a loss from their opening game, 0 points, and a goal difference of -2. And we go into the final group of the World Cup standings at the moment. Group L is England's group. And after one round of fixtures, of course, the second round gets underway this evening. England are top of the group with 3 points and an opening win. And a goal difference of +2. Ghana are in second place with a win, 3 points, but a goal difference of +1. Panama currently occupy the third place spot in that group with a loss in their opening fixture, 0 points and a goal difference of -1. And Croatia currently occupy fourth place in Group L with a loss, 0 points and goal difference of -2. And that, folks, brings you up to date with everything that has gone on in the World Cup over the past 2.5 to 3 days. Like I say, guys, if your team is playing over the next couple of days, have fun, enjoy the game, back your team to be helped. And we'll be back on Thursday at 2 p.m. with yet another episode in the World Cup Review Show series, streaming across multiple platforms. Remember to like, share, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Do drop a follow and a like. All the handles are down the bottom there, so please do. It would be much appreciated. And until the next time, people, keep it real, keep it wheelie, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for watching. Bye-bye for now, folks. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the other side of the Scotland game, which we'll discuss on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye-bye for now, folks, and take care. And as always, thank you for watching. You keep this going. See you later.